In this video, we are going to apply the inference rule called Hypothetical Syllogism. Hi, this is Logic Self-Taught with Dr. Phi. In this video, we will learn how to apply and how not to apply hypothetical syllogism. If Jane gets an A in math, she'll get an A in logic. If she gets an A in logic, she'll get an A in English. It follows that if Jane gets an A in math, she'll get an A in English. If Anne doesn't go to church, then neither will Betty. If Betty doesn't go to church, then neither will Chris. It follows that if Anne doesn't go to church, then Chris won't go to church. Let's look at the rule in symbols. The rule basically tells us that we need to have two conditionals on their own lines where the consequent of one is the antecedent of the other. If we can match the consequent and the antecedent of these two conditionals, then we are allowed to infer a conditional with the unmatched antecedent and the unmatched consequent. So hypothetical syllogism, as it were, allows us to cancel out the middle term, the consequent of one and the antecedent of another. We need to make sure that we have two conditionals that stand on their own lines, and moreover, the consequent of one is the antecedent of another. This is something to always watch out for. We derive a conditional with the unmatched antecedent and the unmatched consequent. This is another argument where hypothetical syllogism is applicable. We have two conditionals that stand on their own lines, and we match the consequent of one, this time conditional in line 2, with the antecedent of conditional in line 1. Again, we derive a conditional with the unmatched antecedent and the unmatched consequent. Here we might be tempted to apply hypothetical syllogism because if you look at premise 1, there are two conditionals. B is the consequent of one of the conditionals and the antecedent of another. But we don't have two conditionals that stand on their own lines. As we remember, inference rules don't apply to proposition components, hence this is a misapplication of hypothetical syllogism. It would not help much if the wedge was replaced with the dot, because again, the same problem applies. The two conditionals are components of proposition 1. However, in this case, we clearly could apply hypothetical syllogism after we derive the conditionals on their own lines, and we can easily do that here by applying simplification twice. We need to match the antecedent of one with the consequent of the other conditional, and so it will not do to have a different sort of matching. If you can match the consequence of two conditionals, the antecedents of two conditionals, hypothetical syllogism is inapplicable. This is Logic Self-Taught. It's exercise time. Do all the exercises until they feel like a breeze.